YouTube courtroom drama script. The judge's final warning. What happens when a defendant is given another chance, but continues to break the rules? This courtroom hearing became tense when the judge confronted Francisco over allegations that he consumed alcohol while under court-ordered supervision. At the beginning of the hearing, the judge acknowledged that Francisco's attorney had previously made a strong argument on his behalf. But the judge made one thing very clear. A lawyer can defend you in court, but a lawyer cannot protect you from your own decisions. Francisco's attorney appeared before the court and explained that his client strongly denied drinking on the night of August 16th. However, the defense also acknowledged that Francisco had consumed alcohol on August 1st. According to his attorney, Francisco had checked his schedule, reviewed his phone records, and even contacted his girlfriend. Those conversations appeared to confirm that he had consumed alcohol on August 1st, with his last drink reportedly around 10 p.m. The defense argued that despite drinking on August 1st, Francisco had not tested positive for alcohol the following morning. But the situation became much more serious when the court turned its attention to two specific dates, August 9th and August 15th. The prosecution presented evidence from a Soberlink alcohol monitoring device. On August 9th, the device recorded a positive alcohol reading at approximately 6 p.m., with a reported result of 0.046. But that was only the beginning. According to the evidence presented in court, Francisco failed to complete several required retests. Those missed retests occurred at approximately 6:15 p.m., 6:45 p.m., 7:15 p.m., 7:45 p.m., 8:15 p.m., and 8:45 p.m. The prosecution then presented a second allegation involving August 15th. On that date, the Soberlink device reportedly recorded another positive reading at approximately 6:25 p.m., this time showing 0.076. Once again, the defendant allegedly failed to complete the required follow-up tests. The missed retests were recorded at approximately 6:40 p.m., 7:10 p.m., 7:40 p.m., 8:10 p.m., 8:40 p.m., and 9:10 p.m. The defense then questioned the monitoring officer about whether it was possible for someone to receive an initial positive result without actually consuming alcohol. The officer explained that there can be circumstances in which an initial reading may require confirmation through a follow-up test. However, the device gives specific instructions to the person being monitored. They are expected to make sure the test has been properly submitted and to follow the instructions for any required retest. If the person walks away from the device without completing the process, the system can record the failure to provide the required confirmation. That became an important issue in Francisco's case. The defense pointed out that there was not necessarily a 100% confirmation that alcohol had been consumed simply because an initial reading appeared on the machine. However, the prosecution argued that the positive readings, combined with failure to complete the required retests, were significant. The judge then asked whether Francisco had ever previously received a positive reading and successfully completed the required confirmation test. The answer was clear. No, the defense had no further questions. Francisco also chose not to testify. The judge then moved toward the decision. The defense attorney asked the court to consider the circumstances surrounding Francisco's situation. The attorney acknowledged that there was a positive test, but argued that Francisco's failure to complete the retest should also be taken into account. The judge, however, reached a different conclusion. The court found that Francisco had consumed alcohol on August 9th, after receiving a positive reading of 0.046 and failing to complete the required retest. The court also found that he consumed alcohol on August 15th, after receiving a positive reading of 0.076, and again failing to complete the required retests. At that point, the judge turned to Francisco's previous drunk driving case. The court confirmed that the earlier case had been adjudicated in Standish and that Francisco